Welcome.
We're inside.
We're chilling in the car at the drop zone. It's way too windy to jump. There's no one here but us, so we look like crazy people hanging out in the middle of nowhere in a car for no reason. But we're here at Jumping with Jackson.
And today we have...
I'm Zach Wiseman. We
have Zach Wiseman.
Yeah,
now,
that's me.
Tell the people at home what you're about.
I am about 5'8". Blonde brown hair, mousy brown hair, blue eyes. Like a very sharp cheekbones. I have a model-esque figure, I guess you could say that.
Yeah, it's all about what you look like. I don't care about like what you do as a person or anything. I'm just objectifying you. So yeah, that's exactly what I asked for.
Cool.
Yeah.
Heroin chic. It's a look.
Heroin chic is actually, I think, more what Zach's about. But
I pull that off real good.
So I met Zach doing stand-up comedy. How's stand-up comedy treating you, Zach?
I hate stand-up comedy. It's fucking miserable.
I think most stand-up comics hate stand-up comedy. I think that's pretty common.
I like stand-up comedy. I just hate the audiences and other comics and like the business model and everything about it except the comedy part.
So all aspects of comedy except for the actual telling of jokes.
Yeah, just doing stand-up's great. I mean, if you don't have to deal with like bullshit, but you always have to deal with bullshit.
And I know that you're also a painter.
I do it all, baby!
Like what? Also, the another interesting question I think is like, what drugs are you currently on?
I am coming down off meth. I'm on some heroin and I took some acid. So I'm coming up on acid, coming down off meth, and maintaining the heroin.
See, and I think if we didn't let people know, like, you'd pass for just a weird sober guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just quirky, you know. I went to a liquor store the other day and got some ice cream cones, and then I threw down my notebook, and my notebook's like a leather-bound book, and I wrote the Bible of, and that's all. And the guy's like, "What kind of Bible is that?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm writing it." And he's like, "You're writing the Bible?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I left.
That's amazing. I hope that story sticks with that guy forever. Like, I met a guy who wrote the Bible.
Yeah, he was writing it currently.
So, Zach, have you ever been skydiving?
No, never once.
Are you excited about going skydiving?
Yeah. And then I gotta find more acid, but yeah.
As long as you pass for sober, that's all we care about. Like,
yeah, I can totally. Here's my question: can I leave sunglasses on the whole time?
I mean,
we might be able to.
Actually, we could ask you for a helmet, because like when you're doing a tandem jump, you can't.
Helmets are privately owned. Those
Okay.
don't belong.
What if I have like tinted like swim goggles? Something I can just leave on. As long as they don't see my eyes, I can pass for sober on a million hits of acid.
Actually, yeah, tinted goggles would probably work. You're like, yeah, no, I just.
As long as you don't see.
Your eyes look fine right now. So if you're on acid right now, I can't.
Dope. Well, also I've been.
Are you seriously like?
Yeah. But there's a thing you can do with drugs where you take, because some drugs will dilate your pupils larger and then smaller, and you can balance it out with drugs.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
See, the more you know. This is the after-school special you never signed up for.
That is such a fucking, like... By the way, this podcast does not condone hardcore drug use.
I do. Do all the drugs.
I mean, like, I have mixed feelings about drugs. I wouldn't exist if my birth mother hadn't done them, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, it might be bad for you. It's a mixed bag.
Yeah, and I get it. I've talked about doing ayahuasca and psilocybin and stuff for introspective purposes, and Zach and I talked about the introspective nature of skydiving, particularly on hallucinogens.
Right. I do think at some point I'd like to take you skydiving sober, just to see, like...
Yeah, but it can't be the first time. Because, like, there's something about, like, experiencing things on LSD, like, it makes... It's for, like, viewing things or, like, experiencing things, acid is the fucking drug. It's the best drug. It's great.
What
are you doing?
Sorry, we're having some sound. I just got a ton of static in my... Welcome back to Sound Issues with Jackson. So...
We were talking about skydiving on acid.
Right. So getting back to the, like, So you don't want to go skydiving sober your first skydive?
No, I
Okay.
like to experience things for the first time because, like, if you know what you're expecting, it won't be as profound. But if you just jump in tripping balls, it can like affect your soul. You know, like okay, I saw this Japanese band called Momonashi, Momonashi, Momonashi. It's a lady singer and bassist. That's the whole band, right? And I saw him one night at Milk Bar on Haight Street in San Francisco. There's like nobody in the fucking bar. It was like me and fucking a few other people.
Sure.
And they're on a world tour, so they're playing Amoeba record store across the street, and somebody talked them into coming and playing a fucking show that night for nobody. And they were fucking amazing. And I had eaten, I don't know, maybe 8-ish hits of acid, like a handful of fucking acid. And I don't listen to music that much. I haven't pressed play on a song in fucking years. But then I like cried to some music.
To some Momonashi.
Yeah, it was fucking real good, man. And then the next day I woke up and I wasn't depressed for like 3 months. I just quit doing drugs and I was just fucking like nothing has ever so profoundly affected me as a Japanese band and some acid.
Okay, so
Wow.
all right,
Wow.
that's one way to deal with your depression. I mean, fair enough.
No,
So, what ended the sobriety at the end of the 3 months? What did you-
I mean, I live life hard, you know. I fucking put myself through it, so it was probably trying to sell paintings in the street. That fucking cracks me like every month and a half. I fucking break down, but then I just get up and do it again.
Why don't you tell the fine folks at home, the non-existing fine folks at home?
Oh, what am I telling them?
Tell them about
Your art,
your
like
art.
where do you
Selling
sell
your
stuff?
paintings
You
and-
know,
Alright,
if you have
so
Etsy, that kind
I
of
moved
stuff.
to San Francisco homeless to do stand-up because I was in Vegas, and Vegas is a shithole. You know, you can start doing comedy anywhere, but there's no middle in Vegas. There's a bottom and there's a top, and the middle is non-existent. So I got out, and I took a bus to LA, and then I slept under Santa Monica Pier for like 2 weeks, maybe a month, something like that. And LA is a shithole, especially if you don't have transit or friends or whatever. Fucking, you're just sitting on a bus all day long. It's retarded. So I came up here, and if this sucked, I was gonna go to like Seattle, fucking Portland area. But San Francisco is dope. It's good. So I stayed here, and I'm just homeless, doing mics and shit. And there's no comedy during the days. Daytime is not really prime time for comedy. So I had free time during the days and no money. And so I was like, I'm going to start painting to scam these fucking assholes. You get these... everybody wants to buy a painting from a homeless dude, right? That's that Van Gogh shit.
Yeah.
And then...
Your doppelganger.
Also, I was doing a bunch of acid. I'm still doing a bunch of acid. But at the time, I was doing a bunch of acid. I was like, why did I ever stop playing with colors? I just want to play with colors. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun to do on acid. And so I started doing it, and I was better than I thought I was going to be. I thought it was going to be a fun thing to do, and I would, sell a few paints for like $5-10. But then it turns out I'm actually proficient. And how much do you owe yourself to do the things that you are good at? You know?
Turns out I have talent. I guess I should try.
Yeah, now you have to do.
Yeah, and I mean, what a fucking trap. Like, I wish I
know.
never started. It's, god damn it. Like,
I'm sorry you're talented, man. That sucks.
it's a motherfucker. It really is. Like, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Like, what kind of asshole has like 2 dreams? Like, yeah, I'm gonna do stand-up comedy and I'm gonna be a painter. It's so
Fucking
dumb.
terrible, man.
It's
I
so
can't
dumb.
can't believe.
I'm in that same fucking category of doing too many fucking things.
It's dumb.
It's annoying because I'm not making any money off of my filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And I refuse to get a job. I'm not getting a job ever. I will eventually. In theory, this works great. Like the comedy painting thing synergizes very well.
Because you don't have overlap in your schedule. You can just do both as much as you want to.
There is a thing in your brain where like your brain doesn't do those things don't go together well. It's hard to do both of them.
Wait, what things?
Visual art and comedy.
because audible art and
So
visual
like
art?
the part of your brain that draws well
Right.
is not the language part of your brain.
Yeah,
Right,
that's why
okay.
you can. That's why you can listen to an audiobook while painting, and it doesn't disrupt your ability to create art.
right.
I would probably not listen to it. I mean, I would just tune it out.
Oh, I tend to do that if I'm like working with like a visual medium. I'll like listen to an audiobook while I'm drawing or doing something like that, and it actually helps my brain because it does the it's like a feedback thing where like one artistic thing feeds into the other, and so it actually helps me like picture what's going on in the story, but also like inspiring a new.
Yeah, I have the opposite. Like if I'm painting all day, I'll be like painting for like 6-8 hours. Then it's really hard for me to fucking get into comedy brain.
Oh, okay.
It's just totally separate things in my head.
What's it like?
Well, like, comedy it's okay, so the language part of your brain doesn't draw well because the language part of your brain is attaching labels to everything, right? Like,
Right.
If I wanted to draw a chair I saw, my brain would just be like, hey, chair, and it just make an image of a chair, the fucking standard image of a chair that your brain makes, and it wouldn't be that chair, it'd just be a fucking symbol, like a hieroglyph of a chair. And then I have to like get over that and actually make myself look at that chair to draw that chair. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. Yeah, that
You
makes
have to
sense.
push past it, and then now you have to stop yourself from pushing past the thing you were just training yourself to push past.
The language becomes a limiter on what image you
because
create.
it's defined.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes
yeah.
a ton of sense.
And so like comedy is kind of it's like stretching language, kind of. I mean,
Linguistic parkour.
yeah,
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 yeah.
sure. But it just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't work well in my brain.
I just think we should just go right for the jugular on this one. One of the things that you said earlier that kind of like gave me an idea of who the fuck you are is that you were saying that like you're committed to comedy, and if it doesn't work out in X number of years, you're killing yourself.
Yeah, well, I started doing comedy because I failed to killing myself, and then I was like, you need to really fucking, put a plan together. Let's pull this thing off. And so I was like, well, you always want to do stand-up first. And I was like, okay. And then I had a little fucking debate with myself, and I was like, well, how long? Well, 10 years. Do stand-up for 10 years. I was like, that's a decade? Fuck you. So I talked myself down to 7 years. And I've been doing stand-up 7 years, so I can kill myself at any time. I passed the fucking negotiation.
You got through your contract with yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought we still had more years to go. Wasn't somebody
No.
trying to negotiate with you to get you to shorten the years?
I don't know. I can't
I
remember.
remember one of the comedians was like,
So one of my favorite jokes of yours is actually your school shooting story. But like I was like, holy shit, yeah, Zach's been in a school shooting. I want to talk about that. Like, so tell the people at home like the story or the joke or whatever. But frame it for them because I actually think it's really interesting.
Okay, so I was in 8th grade. I was 12 years old, and I was going to school out in Bethel, Alaska. It's like real rural Alaska. It's like 3,000 people currently, I think. Same back then. And it's like the town exists because it's right on the river and it has an airport, and it's how
it's transportation.
yeah, it's like a hub,
Yeah.
So they boat into the town and then fly to the big city Anchorage, blah blah blah.
Sure.
So I'm going to school there, and it's kind of a shithole. Like the community is what they call a damp community. So like you can drink in town, but you can't buy or sell booze in town. So you have to order all your booze from Anchorage, which just adds freight to the cost of booze.
So it just costs more to get drunk.
Yeah, and there's a limit to how much you can drink every month. You have a monthly limit, but the limit is it's like 14 bottles of whiskey, 5 cases. So like the limit, if you were actually drinking it, is fucking insane. You're a crazy person, and people always drink the limit.
Oh
All
my
it does
God.
is increase.
It encourages people
and
to
this
drink
is-
that much. This is how much
yeah.
I can drink, so this is much I will
and
drink.
bootlegging.
This is
and
where
bootlegging.
you're from, though.
Yeah,
This is your hometown.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of bootlegging. Dude, it's great. Like at the end of the month, we'd go buy up all these fucking worthless drunks their orders because they couldn't afford them. And we'd be like, dude, we'll give you some of these bottles. Just sell us.
The rest of your quota.
Yeah, and then we would just sell those bottles for like fucking $80 a piece.
Yeah.
Nice. You were like Al Capone in Alaska.
Yeah, it's retarded. Anyway, so I'm going to school. It's like December-ish time, and this kid who'd been getting bullied for, years, he was sick of it, and so he came to school with a shotgun and shot this other kid, like the main bully. I think he had a list of people he was trying to kill, but he only got the main bully and the principal. There's other people, I'm sure, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Killed them. That's why you don't be mean to people, because they can kill you. You know? If you're an asshole to somebody, they might just kill you.
Yeah, corporal punishment, man. You might die for being an asshole. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, for real. Like, there's very little you can do to stop someone from killing you if they really want to kill you. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, if I want to kill a cop, I could kill that cop. I might not be able to kill all the cops, but I could kill one. Kill that one, yeah, for
you
sure.
get the one. That's
Yep.
for sure. No, I'm trained to kill enough to know that fucking you want to make somebody dead.
You can do it.
You can do it.
I mean, you might die too, but you can get them.
Oh, they used to get us with those fucking suicide vests.
Yep.
The guy strap a whole bunch of bombs to his body, come over and give you a hug. Hey, buddy.
But,
Boom.
Yeah. And yeah, dude, like the 8th grade, like what was the aftermath of that for you? Like after this happened, like what did your like?
So I was already a fucking weirdo, right? I was like wearing bathrobes to school and just being a fucking crazy person. And then my parents had just recently got divorced, so my mom was like, you know what, fuck this town, and we moved to Anchorage. And it was kind of weird because like, you know, my mom was like trying to get me to not be such a fucking weirdo, but I don't know, it was just weird. I fucking moved away from all my friends and just kind of isolated pretty hard.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, not nice, but
So they moved because of the shooting?
Zach. It helps me understand Zach.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Oh, okay.
There was a job opening my mom got for like to work way too hard for a lot of money, you know what I mean? So she took that and moved, and my parents had just got divorced too, so there's like that thing. It's just like,
they
fuck
don't
all
wanna
this.
be around each other,
yeah, it's like, fuck all this. And then we left.
And then when did you leave Alaska?
I left Alaska 7 years ago, something like that. I don't know.
So it was Alaska to Vegas.
Mm-hmm. My mom remarried, and they moved to Vegas for his son. He works for the FAA, and he got a job down there. And my mom was like, "Hey, I need help moving into my new house." And I was like, "Yeah, I could do that." And I helped her move in. And she's like, "When do you want to go back to Alaska?" And I was like, "No, never, not doing it." And so I basically just I crashed there until they got sick of me, and then I moved into my car, and then I crashed my car. Because it got sick of me, and then I lived. What I would do in Vegas is I would go to the open mics, right, and then just get as trashed as possible, like real drunk.
You get a lot of free booze in Vegas?
Oh, way too much.
Yeah.
And then that's why I got fucking 2 DUIs there. And then I'd drink as much as I could at the mics, and then I would walk outside of the mic, and I'd just go to sleep on the ground. And then I wake up in the morning, and I walk across Vegas to where the next mics were that evening. So.
And then just booze it up?
Yeah, fucking real hard.
Yeah.
And
Were you
then-
doing acid at that point?
There's no acid in Vegas, no. I did acid when I was a kid, like 16-ish, right? I did a fair amount of acid in Alaska.
I mean, there's not much else to do other than drugs in Alaska.
Yeah.
Like,
To me.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
I've been to Alaska 3 times, and like it's a cool place if you have like friends and shit to do. But there's nothing.
Or
really.
legs, you know?
Legs are overrated.
Hike around.
Actually, like
'cause-
walking. Yeah, fucking boo, boo.
Yeah,
It's
Alaska's
flat,
a very
though.
hikey place, you know?
Yeah.
Lots of hiking.
Actually, Alaska was the first time I ever went to a skate park in my wheelchair. It was in Alaska.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, I for one don't want you to kill yourself. I value your comedy. I value your artwork, and
Like, keep doing copious amount of drugs and make art. Like, that seems like a better.
here's the thing: I'm
better way to live.
willing to throw you out of an airplane on acid if there's even a remote chance that we're gonna end up with 3 months of sobriety and some more creativity and a joke out of it. Like that alone,
Worth it.
worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And-
I'm having a real hard time caring about anything. It's just I don't care.
Yeah, apathy's a motherfucker. I get that.
yeah. I don't know. I'm very curious to know what. Like, I only tried acid one time and I took like half a hit. I didn't even take a full hit.
You ever done mushrooms?
I've done lots of mushrooms. Yeah.
Okay.
What's
And,
the
like,
hierarchy between, or like, what's the parallel between mushrooms and
It's
acid?
very similar.
No, but they're pretty similar. I find mushrooms to be more confusing. Like it's it's more confusing. Like what? One time we were me and like a house full of people were on mushrooms and we were like kids, and somebody said at some point that this guy's parents were coming home from Hawaii, so everybody for like I think it was like 2 hours just like shh, his parents are coming home. That wasn't fucking happening. That was never gonna happen. That's why we were all on mushrooms, because we were fucking safe. Nobody was coming home.
Someone put the idea, that paranoid idea in your head.
Like, oh, Jesus, the parents, is that them? But yeah, I find acid to be like crisper. I like how long it lasts, honestly, because you can get shit done. You can like go through it. Like mushrooms is like what, like 4-ish hours, you know?
Yeah. Before it really starts going back and off.
Yeah. And you get like a good like 6-8, you know? You can really fucking.
I don't want to be high that long.
I got shit to do.
But you do it on the acid. That's the point. Take the acid and you can do a thing to completion. You don't gotta fucking redose. You just do it. Yeah, it's great.
All right. Well, again, not a commercial for drug use, but interesting.
Drugs are only good. There's no bad parts.
Well, that's an opinion.
No, that's a fact. It's a fact. Government's lied to you for years. Drugs are only good.
Yeah, they've never done any harm to anyone.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jackson, for validating my point.
I'm a poster boy for how drugs don't hurt people. So that's kind of my whole shtick.
Look how happy you are. See?
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, do you guys want to go get some food since we
I
can't
want-
jump?
Yeah, let's get the last few shots here and then let's fucking go
Get
grab
on the
lunch.
road.
So yeah, we will be skydiving. We'll throw this fucker out of an airplane soon, but today is not our day.
Yeah, the
so,
weather wasn't conducive, so next time, Zach being thrown out of an airplane, maybe or maybe not on acid, I don't know.
and
Okay,
we will
yeah,
not
sure,
know. We
sure.
cannot condone.
Honestly, I'm broke as fuck, so I probably won't be able to get more acid.
Like, you're not supposed to jump out of an airplane on drugs, so don't do it.
Don't do it.
But if you pass for sober, you pass for sober. So I don't know to stop you.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I hope we don't get in trouble for this, but at the same time, my intentions are good.
I will not do drugs when I jump out of this plane. Okay.
There you go. See,
There you go.
from Zach's mouth, he's not going to do drugs, guys.
There we go.
Won't do
Good
it.
stuff. All right, let's go get some shots, get some food.
Cool. Like,
Later.
Later.
I'm totally doing drugs.
I know.